One of our favorite things to do on this channel is tell stories from the sea, and today we are counting down the 7 wildest cruise ship stories that you've never heard of. Hey everyone, what is up? Thank you so much for joining. My name is Jordan. Today is a fun video. Some of the stories are going to have you laughing, some of them might have you crying, but these stories from the sea are some of the most outrageous and wild moments ever witnessed by cruise ship passengers while on board cruise ships. We've scoured the internet, talked to many of you sitting at home to find these stories and bring them on our channel. And while they shouldn't deter you from going on a cruise ship, they are truly moments that make you go, wow. Before we get into all these stories from the sea, I do just want to invite you to subscribe to our channel. We are so close to our goal of 50,000 subscribers. You could be one of the first 50K JJ crew. And while you're hitting that subscribe button, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Let's get into our first story, and it takes us to the island of Jamaica. Jamaica is, of course, a very popular destination for cruise ships, cruise ports, and travelers all around the world. Our story finds a group of cruise passengers on a day excursion. This excursion was stopping at multiple different port stops, going from place to place. It was a tour, like a grand tour of the island of Jamaica, and a couple of people on that tour were incredibly chatty. Cruise passengers report that this couple talked everyone's ear off about everything: their grandchildren, where they were from, how they got to the cruise, and their cruise experience. Now, allegedly, the cruise operator was new to doing excursions and didn't really have a plan for what to do next if passengers just didn't show back up at the meeting point in time during this tour. So he made everyone sit and wait on that bus for over an hour, causing them to miss the next 2 stops on the tour. When they got back to the cruise ship, people found the other couple were there on board. The couple let everyone know that they just were not enjoying the tour very much, and they decided to get a taxi and just leave without saying a word. People on this tour were extremely annoyed because it seemed like the couple talked about everything under the sun, with the exception of the small fact that they were leaving their tour and pretty much causing everyone else to miss a large chunk of their excursion. People love a pier runner story, and people love those pier runner videos. Of course, if you've ever been on a cruise ship, you know that there's a time you have to be back on the ship. Well, coming in at number 6, there was a lady that was running late for her cruise and was doing the styled pier runner run down the gangway, trying to make it back to the ship before the ship sailed away. The woman was just about to make it when she fell and broke her leg. Unfortunately, due to this injury, the ship would not let her back on board, and she was taken to a local hospital with her partner, where they missed out on the rest of her cruise. Our number 5 story takes place on the Lido deck. That is, of course, one of the favorite places for many cruisers, myself included. Who doesn't like enjoying a nice relaxing day laying out in the sun and then taking a beautifully refreshing dip in the pool? Well, people on this particular Lido deck liked these sun and sun chairs a little too much, because when 2 passengers got into a fight over a chair, it resulted in a food fight. People were throwing pizza, French fries, ketchup across the way from each other, all over a deck chair. It was reported that there were other deck chairs available on this Lido deck, but because of the specific location this chair was placed in, the 2 passengers really went at it. Unfortunately, this resulted in both passengers being removed from the cruise at the next port stop, ending their cruise very abruptly. We've talked about it on this channel a lot, but deck chairs and cruisers are 2 hot topics. Coming in at number 4, we have a man that was on his way to lunch, trying to grab some Guy's Burger on a Carnival cruise ship. Of course, Guy's Burger Joint is the fast casual burger place on most Carnival ships. It is very delicious. And as he was standing in line after he got that burger, he was going to the toppings bar. He was going to load that burger up with pickles, fries, all of the special sauces. Unfortunately, the kid in front of him projectile vomited all over the toppings bar. This resulted in the toppings bar being closed, but I personally don't know if I could ever eat from that toppings bar ever again. I should have given a trigger warning for this. I am very sorry that I didn't, but this has to be one of the most disgusting stories I have ever seen online, and I am very, very thankful I wasn't there. And if you're that guy out there watching, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Number 3 is a little bit of a controversial story involving two male best friends. These two guys decided to go to a love and marriage game show and pretend that they were newlyweds. Not only were these two guys not newlyweds, they weren't even in the LGBTQ family. They were two straight men that got up on stage, and ironically, they won. The story continues the next day when they went into the dining room, sat down at a dining room table, and everyone around them started clanking their spoons for them to kiss. They went along with it and they kissed, and for the rest of the cruise, people thought that they were in love and they were a couple. As someone a part of this community, this act is shameful. Just don't do it. Leave the love and marriage game show for people that are actually in love and married. Our number 2 story is quite the unfortunate situation because a flood on a cruise ship caused an overspill in one of the supply closets. This supply closet housed all of the toilet paper for everyone on the entire cruise. People had to spend 24 hours on a ship, and if your toilet paper had run out in your stateroom, well, you were completely out of luck. A no toilet paper cruise is not a cruise that I ever want to find myself on personally. And the number 1 wildest story that we have ever heard coming from a cruise ship is about a lady on her balcony. Now, if you've ever been to ports, let's just use the port of Nassau as an example. The cruise ships will come on either side of the dock. This means that you can typically see directly across the pier and into other people's balconies and sometimes even their staterooms. Well, on this fine day, a woman had had a little bit too much to drink. I'm sure you can guess where this story is going, but she went out to her balcony and she put on a little bit of a show for everyone on the neighboring ship. The really bad thing here is the neighboring ship had a lot of families on board, and this particular act that this woman was doing involved taking off all of her clothing items and dancing on her balcony chair. Not only is this dangerous, this is just downright a bad idea and frankly preposterous. We're going to deem this bad cruiser behavior. Well, that was our 7 stories from the sea. Let us know in the comments below. What's the wildest thing you've ever seen on a cruise ship? And what have you seen on a cruise ship that just made you go, wow? Let us know in the comments below, and maybe you'll see your story on a future video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, that like button, and until next time, see ya!